Disclaimer. I wish to make it known that I am a Conservative voter and I have every intention to continue that trend on June 8th. However, I will try my best to keep as open mind as possible and keep personal biases to a minimum as I present these critical analyses. This is not an in-depth review of the manifestos in question, although I have read them cover to cover. I will only be skimming the surface of each one's most important points. Well, the Labour manifesto jumps straight to the point with the first chapter being about taxation, so this should be interesting. Okay, I'm going to get straight to the point myself as well and immediately deconstruct Labour's endless hypocrisy when it comes to taxation. The title of this page is A Fair Taxation System, and the second paragraph then tells us that their idea of a taxation system is only fair to those earning under £80,000 per annum. Well done, Jeremy. Hold on. How much do you earn, Mr. Corbyn? £75,000 is the salary of an MP, isn't it? Oh, how fucking convenient that your proposed tax increase just so happens to miss you by the skin of your rotten fucking teeth. Corporation tax in the United Kingdom is one of the lowest amongst major developed economies, which is true, but there is a reason for this: to make the United Kingdom attractive to foreign investors and businesses. The point is that when they do finally pay their tax bills, we make a healthy fucking profit. It also brings a wealth of prosperities in the forms of employment and local economic growth where the businesses decide to set up shop. I suppose the idea of economic prosperity is a little too bourgeois for you, isn't it, Jeremy? Or should I call you comrade? Excuse the shit Russian accent. The subsection of this chapter titled Balancing the Books is probably the most alarming portion to me because it says so little in terms of facts and figures, but screams out so much about just how deeply rooted in Marxist policy Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party actually is. This is a direct quote. Our manifesto is fully costed, with all current spending paid for out of taxation or redirected revenue streams. Now, I promise to be as unbiased as I can be with these videos, and I will scrutinise the Tory manifesto as hard as any other, but this just reminds me of Margaret Thatcher's quote on socialism from the 1980s. The problem with socialism is that eventually you run out of other people's money. It has been proven time and again that funding government spending through tax hikes is unfucking sustainable. In fact, when they can barely fill half a page of text with regards to the country's economic stability, it really makes me wonder if they even know what economic stability is. Now, Labour claim that they want to invest £250 billion into Britain's transport, energy and communications infrastructures using the National Transformation Fund over the next 10 years. Question the first. Where in the fuck do you think you're going to find $250 billion? Because I sure as shit am not going to foot the fucking bill just because I fall into your alleged high earners category. I already know the answer to this one. Borrowing. Yes, Labour want to borrow £250 billion to renationalise the railway and energy companies. Well, I've got a surprise for you, Jeremy. Purchasing the fucking railway does not constitute investing in it. No, if you buy the railway and renationalise it, you're then going to have to commit to making it better, which means further spending on infrastructure management, materials, labourers, management teams, and doubtlessly, because you are the Labour Party, a whole legion of bureaucrats to ensure nothing ever actually gets fucking done. Do Labour supporters really wonder why nobody trusts Jeremy Corbyn with the economy? Okay, so we come to the portion of Labour's manifesto where they should be well versed, the industrial sector. The opening statements about the north-south divide are very true. As someone who lives in the southeast, I can confirm without a blink of an eye that the cost of living down here is astronomical. But that's not the result of the current Tory government, as so the manifesto infers. Labour want to reduce the percentage of non-renewable energy usage in Britain to 40% by 2030, and I totally support that. I am very much a man of science, and any government that of any political stripe would have my full support in the active attempt to reduce carbon emissions. Finally, we come to the crux of the socialist government. Complete authoritarian power over every transport and utility network going. As mentioned before, Labour want to renationalise the railway, electricity, gas and water boards, and Royal Mail. claiming that public ownership will benefit the consumers, ensuring that their interests are put first and that there is democratic accountability for the service. Accountability. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Why do you think these entities were privatised in the first place? So, what, we might have some cheap stamps for a couple of years. Yeah, but what happens when you realise that these interests aren't sustainable and are hemorrhaging public money? Just like they did prior to their privatisation. One way or another, the cost of these utilities, be it through direct billing or stealth taxes, will be footed by the people. Part 2 is about how Labour will negotiate Brexit. Now, after reading Labour's pledges for Brexit, I can surmise 3 possibilities. 1. Jeremy Corbyn genuinely does not have a clue what is written in this part of his party manifesto. 2. Jeremy Corbyn is lying when he speaks publicly about negotiating Brexit and is fully aware of what's written in the manifesto. 3. The Labour manifesto is lying about how Labour are going to negotiate Brexit. Seriously, nothing within this manifesto marries up to what Corbyn is saying in public, so long as you look past the attempt to convince people that a Conservative government leading Brexit would be a bad idea. No. Wait, I spoke too soon. As we descend into the second circle of Labour hell, we discover that they aren't going to negotiate Brexit as per the mandates of the people, but to cut a deal with the European Union whereby we claim to be independent, but we are, in fact, still constrained by all the same fucking ties and regulations that we have in place now. Labour will keep us in the single market, keep open borders to EU nationals, and keep paying astronomical fees to the European Council to keep these privileges. That is the single policy that has lost Labour this election already. The remaining portions of the Labour Party manifesto simply show us the normal centre-left policies regarding education, work and the health service, so there's nothing new there to really talk about. I am the Excremental, and the Labour Party manifesto of 2017 is going to require 2 flushes.